Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy for Now. It's me, Isabel, here with my shame, my secret pile, my oh boy, how did we get here? But we're here and we're working on it situation. And that is my NetGalley. If you are unfamiliar, NetGalley is a platform you can join if you are a book reviewer. You do not have to have a book talk, booktube, Instagram, any of that. You can literally just review on Goodreads and get books. So just know that going in. You might not always get approved for things, but I'm just saying you don't have to have a platform to join. But I have been on NetGalley for a very long time. I used to have a book blog briefly. I've done a lot. Okay, we've done a lot here. And I've been sharing my shame with you this year with quarterly check-ins, themed vlogs where we read a bunch of books from NetGalley, and I'm back. It is a time for our quarter one check-in. I would like to start this video by telling you my beginning stats, and we will end with my final stats after I talk about everything I've picked up off of NetGalley in the last quarter-ish, and also everything I reviewed. So first up, I started at a 65% review percentage on NetGalley, with 210 reviews submitted and 325 books approved. I'm also going to caveat this. I'm not looking to ever hit 100%. Ideally, I'd like to get over 80 and get to a point where when I get new books and review them, I'm not hurting my score by getting a new book, if that makes sense. One of the rewards I did give myself after the vlog I did where I read some NetGalley books and brought my score up was that I was allowed to get a couple more things off of NetGalley. I have sent in some requests. I'm not going to not request things because I'm hitting a point where as long as I'm reading what I have, I will hit the score I want to hit by the end of the year, I think. So, all right, let's dive into all of the new books I have gotten from NetGalley. I also am now auto-approved for two publishers, which is Forever Publishing and Harlequin Publishing. So that helps. I can get books I really want easily and I don't have to request them. I've been approved for 19 new books since the last check-in. And I'm not too mad about that. I have been really, really cautious in what I have asked for. A lot of things are, no, not 19. Oh my God, there's a duplicate. 18 new books, which is not terrible, honestly, especially when we talk about what I read so far. But that's since the last NetGalley check-in. So again, it's been a quarter. It's a while. So first up, we have Red String Theory. I love the Red String Theory. It's one of my favorite, most romantic invisible string situations that I love. Same vibes, right? So this is one that I saw people raving about and was still able to get on NetGalley via Forever. So I did grab it. I don't know a ton about it, but it's been one of the buzziest romances of the year, apparently. And I really love the cover. I know it's a first date situation. Very curious to see how it plays out. Then I got the next best fling, which Dana over at Forever has been raving about. Her username on stuff is To All the Nerdy Girls. I adore Dana. She's a gem. And she's been raving about this, and this book sounds so messy that it is right up my alley at the end of the day. And I cannot wait to read it. Honestly, I'm so pumped to read it. I love it. I love it so much. I love mess. So this is about a girl who has a crush on her best friend, and her best friend's brother has a crush on his soon-to-be wife. And it follows their fake relationship fling to keep each other occupied during this wedding process and then falling in love. The mess. I cannot wait. May has read this already and basically raved about it nonstop to me, so I know I just need to read it sooner than later. And I'm excited. Then I have two redacted books that we're not going to be talking about from a publisher. So there's that. I also got Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I had to get this because my mom and I share a Kindle account. Well, we don't share. She has a Kindle that's logged into my account. So I knew I had to get the new Abby Jimenez so she could read The Ark. She's reading The Ark right now. Loving it. I don't know if she's finished it yet or not, but I know she's loving it. I will be reading this soon. I know it comes out soon and I'm really excited. I've enjoyed all of Abby Jimenez's new works. I've not tried her old books, so I don't have much of an opinion there. But I do really like her new stuff, so I'm excited to keep reading this and see what I think. Next, we have The Last Days of Lila Good Luck. This is by Kylie Scott. This is a light magical situation, light witchy book. I'm very curious about this. I've enjoyed Kylie Scott books. I've not loved a lot of Kylie Scott books, but I definitely have enjoyed a lot of them. So I'm really curious to see how this goes and to see what I think of it. I also have Killed Trip. This is another one I'm really curious about. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. It might be one that I DNF, honestly. I want to try it. It sounds very different. It is about a girl who helps revamp travel things, travel trip places. Oh my God, tour bus type things, those. So she goes to Scotland, pretends to be a tourist on the trip. The guy finds out the next day when she shows up to the work to help them. It sounds interesting. Again, it's either going to be a real big hit for me or a miss, and I'm just not sure which. Next, we have Do Me a Favor by Kathy Yardley. I loved role-playing like the rest of my friend group did, and Do Me a Favor is about a girl and her handyman neighbor. I love this cover. It is fan-freaking-tastic. Oh my god, it's such a good cover. And I really am excited to read this. Montlake, which is really nice on NetGalley, tends to put their books up as read nows for a little bit, so you can get the book and then they just kind of vanish. They don't seem to do a ton of requests, which I do like. So you kind of have an opportunity, if you have a smaller review ratio, to get some of their books. So pay attention there. But this, when it comes out, will be available on KU with audio most likely, since it's Montlake. So do keep that in mind as well. Then I have the first Indigenous rom-com. When I got approved for this, I let out a little yell. I'm so excited for this, and that is The Truth According to Ember. This cover is fan-freaking-tastic. I am obsessed. I'm so excited to read this. I requested it after it had been up for a little while to try and give Indigenous reviewers and other people a chance to get it. And I'm so glad I got it because it sounds so good and so cute. I don't know a ton about it, but I'm just pumped for our first ever because it's sad and exciting to still have first in 2024. Next, we have Haunted Ever After. This is a new Jen DeLuca. Again, another paranormal-y situation happening here about a haunted house, I believe. I liked most of what I read from Jen DeLuca, so of course I was like, I have to request this and get it. And I did get it, so haha. Then we have The Spell Shop, which is the next book coming out from Bramble. I think it's the next one. So far, I've not read anything from Bramble, so I'm really curious to see what I think of this. This is the one that I'm the most interested in. This seems to be cottagecore, witchy magicalness. I'm hoping it hits a spot for me. We'll see. Then we have some graphic novels or manga, manhwas, etc. We're just going to lump them all together. We have Confessions of a 35-Year-Old. This was on Read Now. All of these were on Read Now, which is why I got them. Then we have 3 Seconds After Our Eyes Meet, Number Call, and Gazing at the Star Next Door. I don't know a ton about these. I've already read one of them. I will be reading the other 3, honestly, probably right after you've seen this video I'll have read them, or be reading them within no time at all, because they're easy to review. That's part of why I'll get those when they're on Read Now and they interest me, because I can read and review them quickly and get them back up into my feedback ratio. Then the last 2 books I got are Not in Love, which is the newest Allie Hazelwood coming out in June. I am obsessed with the fact that Berkeley is approving me out of nowhere, and I'm just like, hi, thank you, I love you, I don't hate you. We're in a good spot right now, Berkeley. Let's stay here. You are ready. You are publishing things I'm enjoying, and I like it. And then last but not least, I got Love and Other Conspiracies, another paranormal-ish contemporary Berkeley also. I'm just really curious about this one. I love this cover, so I'm really hoping I love it, and it's just fantastic time. So we'll see. All right, let's talk about these 16 books I read off of NetGalley. First up, I did listen to the Amore Actually audiobook that I'd gotten approved for previously. I enjoyed this. I think this was really fun. It is a play on Love Actually, which my brain did not put together. I don't love that movie at all until somebody said it. And I was like, oh my god, I'm not all here sometimes. It's fine. I also read Season of Love by Helena Greer, which was okay. This felt more chick lit fic to me, which is not the term I like, but I don't know how else to describe that vibe, than romance. The romance really felt secondary in the plot. I enjoyed a lot of it. I didn't hate it, but I think I went in with the wrong expectations at the end of the day. And I also just always am disappointed by closed door sapphic romance books. It's not what I want. It's just not what I want. Then I read Mislaid in Parts Half Known, the newest Shauna Maguire Wayward children's book. I loved this. I think it was really good. It was just such a fun read. I think it was a great continuation of the series. I'm obsessed with the series. I love it so much, and I can't wait to see what else comes from it. Then we have my first DNF of this round. I'm trying to not DNF a ton of these books, but if I need to DNF, I'm going to. And that is The Switch by Beth O'Leary. I got an audiobook arc of this when they launched the NetGalley audiobook program. And honestly, I should have never requested this. I didn't like the flat share or whatever it was called. And I tried to listen to The Switch and I just was not here for it. I very quickly was like, I'm out. Another quick one that I requested and had already read is Collide by Bal Cabra. This comes out physically in May. The ebook is available now. I loved this hockey book. This, for me, was everything I wanted from a newer version of a Elle Kennedy type hockey book, or just the older vibe hockey book. It gave me that, but updated in the best ways. So I was really, really happy to read it and enjoy it, get an arc of it, and just get to resubmit my review. It was fantastic. Then we have The X-Hex. This was okay. I did not love this book. I have one more book in this series to read that I got on Libro FM, and I don't know if I'm even gonna finish it because it was so mediocre. It was just fine, and that's not great. Then we have a redacted DNF. I did DNF an audiobook arc I got from a publisher we're not talking about because I didn't like the narration, so that's sent back. Then I also read The Cock Down the Block via audio. This is in that vlog I did. If you're really curious for more in-depth thoughts, this was also another 3-star for me. It was fun, but it was not my favorite. I really think this, in a way, lacked some things I was wanting with how funny the title is, but that's okay because I still read it and I still enjoyed it at the end of the day. Like, it was still a good time. It just wasn't as good of a time as I wanted it to be at the end of the day. Then I read Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday, which I really enjoyed. I think this was such a fun, solid 4-star read. It was a fun time. It does delve heavily into like being a widow and like some trust issue stuff, eating disorder stuff. But for me, a lot of it felt, well, the eating disorder stuff felt really good to read on page, felt really seen by it, so to speak. And I'm excited to continue trying some more Jenny Holidays, honestly, because I need to read more from her. I've not read a ton of Jenny Holidays, and I know a lot of people love her books. Then I read volume 1 of And Yet You Are So Sweet, a manga arc I forgot I had. I really enjoyed this. This is another fun, sweet shoujo high school romance. She confesses a crush. He denies her the crush and kind of makes fun of her later. And another boy is like, you can have a crush on me, and is very, very sweet and cute and adorable with her. And I absolutely adored it. It was so much fun. Then I read Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which I also loved. I was so surprised at how much I liked Bride. So I submitted that, and maybe that's what put me in Berkeley's good graces. I don't know, but it worked. It worked, and I got more arcs from Berkeley, which I rarely get. So I loved Bride. I think this was fantastic. Very, very Omegaverse light, we're going to call it. The light as in there's nodding. That's about the only Omegaverse element here. But I'm very, very ready for more in this world from Ali. I don't know if we're getting it. I haven't looked. I haven't paid attention yet. But I'm hopeful that we are getting more books in this world. We are set up for another book. I need another book. So there's that. Then we have Taste Like Shakar by Nisha Sharma. This is one that I was like kind of nervous for and excited because I liked Dating Dr. Dill. I didn't love it, but I loved Taste Like Shakar. It was fantastic. I've not stopped thinking about this book to some extent after reading it. So I do think it's worth going into if you didn't love Dating Dr. Dill, but you are still interested in this one. This has such a fun setup of them planning their friend's wedding and having to work together with this rivalry situation / dislike happening and having to work through that. It was so much fun. I really, really liked it. I honestly can't believe how much fun it was. So yeah, it was just a good time. Good time all around. Then I read To Catch a Raven by Beverly Jenkins, which I also had forgotten I had. This is the last in the Women Who Dare series, and it was okay. This is like a 3.5. The premise of this is so bonkers fun that I really went in expecting something different than what I got. And that's okay. Like, it ended up being more of a cozy book than it was a like heist book, which is what I thought it was going to be for some reason. And that's my bad. That was my bad. I should have read some reviews, honestly, going in. But I enjoyed it otherwise. It's Beverly Jenkins, so like it's still a good book. It's still well written. It's still enjoyable. I still love the couple's chemistry. It just didn't deliver the heist element I wanted. And then the last 2 things I read were manga or manhwas. I read Confessions of a 35-Year-Old. I gave this 3 stars. It was fine. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. I mostly with this one felt like it was just kind of a just complete repeat of other BLs I've read, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I personally was like not in the mood for it when I read it. So there's that. And then I read How to Grill Our Love Volume 1. This was really cute. Another one I forgot I had a digital of, and I was like scrolling my NetGalley and I was like, oh my goodness, how did you not read this yet? So I read it and I loved it. It was really, really cute. This is a very food-based manga. They decide to get married, and every weekend they're long distance, and every weekend they spend together grilling at the house they live in on the weekends together. And it was really precious and sweet. Honestly, it's one that I will pick up on sale occasionally digitally to read, but I'm not gonna like avidly collect it necessarily right now. So that's where we're at. Okay, whew. That is everything I've checked out. So let's talk about my current stats on NetGalley. I currently have 228 reviews that I've submitted, and I've been approved for 345 books, which puts me at, let me go check, hold on. Puts me at 66%. So I went up a full percent since the last check-in, but down a percent since the last video where I did the vlog. But I do need to note, I literally am like sitting down to read those manga volumes in the next day. I just had to film this ahead. So we can call it 67%, but we'll talk about those manga volumes in the next check-in. Either way, the goal next check-in will be to be at 70%, and I think I can do it. I did the math and I'll tell you in a moment. I only have to read 12 more books from NetGalley in the next quarter to hit 70%. So I think that's really, really doable for me considering how many I read this round. So yeah, there will be a vlog coming. Let me know what of the arcs I recently got you want me to prioritize. And if you don't want to do any of that, let me know obviously like your last NetGalley arc you got or reviewed. But yeah, that is everything. You can leave me a vehicle emoji of your choice if you don't want to tell me any of those things, I will have links to all these books down below for you, links to my friend, anywhere on the internet that I am, and I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we